This week's episode is sponsored by Helio Gas Detection. Hey everyone, this is Letty for the Smashing Skull Sessions. I'm joined by Tom from Jovian Storms. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, how are you?
I'm all good. I've been really looking forward to this chat since we've been planning it for months now.
I know.
Our schedule's finally lined up though, so I'm finally happy to be sitting down and talking to you about this.
Likewise.
Awesome. So, welcome to the podcast. To our listeners who maybe haven't heard of you before, could you introduce yourself and your role in the band, please?
I'm Tom Gentil. I play the bass in Jovian Storms, and I also take care of all the, like the visual side of the band, like the covers, the merch, the videos, etc.
All the creative stuff.
Exactly, yeah, I'm a creative.
The creative guy. So, how did the band start?
So you want the full story?
Sure, why not? We've got all night.
It really started like over 20 years ago back in France. Flo, the guitarist, and I are from the same hometown in Brittany. And so we were already playing in the same band back in the day. And then we kind of lost touch with each other for like years, like a decade, I don't know. And then I moved to Montreal. And then by chance, he moved to Montreal as well. So we kind of reconnected. And we were like, dude, we should start a new band. And that's how it started. So it was a bit like rough at the beginning because we had we went through several drummers, and then the pandemic happened. But a couple of years ago, we met Mark, our drummer, and that's when the band really gelled. And we've released like 2 EPs since then.
Mark was the final piece to bring you guys together.
Exactly. It was the keystone of everything.
That's such a funny coincidence that he moved to Montreal as well as you.
Yeah, I know. It's
Was the same reason he moved to Montreal the same as you? What drew him to Montreal as well?
Professional reason, mostly because I moved to Montreal because I couldn't find like a job back in France because I'm a graphic designer. Like the market is like overly saturated already back in France. So I was like, maybe I heard that, like Quebec was looking for skilled workers. So I'm just going to give it a shot like for 1 year and see how it goes. And I've been here for 11 years now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And is Montreal nice? I've seen videos of people going to like heavy metal Montreal, and it looks like a nice part of Canada.
Yeah, heavy Montreal doesn't exist anymore. Unfortunately, that's a huge bummer. They replaced it with a country festival.
No.
Yeah, that's so lame. But other than that, it's a great city. Like it's very vibrant. There's a great music scene, like underground music scene with lots of small venues, and it's really the perfect. Like we're not far from the US, so that's the perfect city to start a post-metal band like we did.
Exactly. And how does the food compare? How's the poutine and all that?
I'm not a huge fan of poutine. I'm gonna get some flag for that. But I'm not a huge fan. Like being from France, I'm not a huge fan of the local food. But Montreal is a very multicultural city, so there's a lot of cuisines you can try out apart from the Québécois cuisine and the poutine.
Awesome. So you guys released a new EP, Umbra, in November. How was the recording process for it?
So it basically started right after we released our previous EP, Exa. So the process usually is that Flo will come up with a draft of a track, with so he does the guitars and he also does the synth and the backing tracks. And then he will have like like a draft of a drum part, and then Mark, our drummer, will record his parts, and then I come at the end with the bass. And
Awesome.
it's a very smooth process. Like we really work well together.
That's awesome. Was the recording of the EP much different to your album Exa?
Yes, because for Exa we basically recorded live.
Oh,
Like
okay.
we were all in the same room, and so the you can really hear it in the sound. Like it's very raw. Like it's not like overproduced or anything. It's like really the what we bring, on stage, basically the kind of sound we bring on stage. And so for Umbra, we wanted to have something a bit different, a bit more polished, I would say. So we all, like recorded all parts separately. But
Which
it sounds much crisper and like more polished, I think.
and which process did you prefer, doing it in segmented bits or recording live?
Segmented bits, definitely, because I'm not, like I'm a self-taught bassist. And I don't think I'm good enough to record a full album live. So it's nice to, like to go like bit by bit, I think.
That's fair enough. And do you have a favorite memory from recording Umbra?
I think it was the so we worked with a sound engineer producer called Ariel Coulomb, and he wanted to try something. So instead of recording the guitars on just one amp, we split the signal and we used two amps at the same time, and it really sounds like like unlike anything we've recorded before. It was a first for us. It was a first for him. Like it was completely experimental, but I think the end result is worth it.
It's always nice to experiment as well to see how it will turn out, and it turned out great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And you can give any sort of answer for this, and it doesn't have to be for Jovian Storms. If you could collaborate with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be?
That's a good question. I would say Jolly Christmas.
Straight off. I love it.
Yeah. We're all fans of her.
That's good. What would your reasoning be to collaborate with her?
Because I've been listening to like Made Out of Babies, and then there was like Battle of Mice, the one of one shot, and then she collaborated with Cult of Luna, etc. And like I've been basically a fan of hers for like past 20 years now, so it would be a dream come true, actually.
Dedicated fan of her for 20 years. I hope she hears this. Come
Exactly.
on. Collaborate with Jovian Storms, like come
And
on.
second choice would be Johannes from Cult of Luna as well, because I'm a huge Cult of Luna fan.
Nice. Good choices, good choices. And Jovian Storms, the band name, comes from Jupiter. So you're into space, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a space nerd.
I think you're like this next question then. Do you have a favorite space movie?
A favorite space movie, yeah, the first Alien.
Great choice. I love Alien. I'm a massive Alien nerd. I'm so much of a nerd. I wanted to spend €220 on the Queen action figure. That's about
Oh yeah,
that big. Like it's
yeah,
massive.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
had to say no.
And there's actually, there's in Barcelona they opened like a kind of an alien museum, and they recreated like the inside of the Nostromo.
I seen that, yeah. I seen that on Instagram. It looks
That's
class.
I want to go there.
What did you think of the new Alien movie, actually? I haven't watched it yet.
Romulus.
Yeah, Romulus.
I actually enjoyed it. Like I know it got a lot of flack for like using too many uh, too many callbacks to the previous movies. But I think it's a really solid movie. I think it's the best Alien movie since Alien 3. Actually, I love Alien 3. By the way.
I think Alien Free is it's just a bit too long for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit too long for me. My favorite is Alien 2. I like action,
Aliens.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Aliens. I love Aliens so much.
Yeah.
And then after Alien 3, I kind of fell off. I wasn't really bothered watching Prometheus and what's the other one?
Oh, Covenant.
Yeah, Covenant, yeah, so I wasn't really bothered with them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those movies at all.
Prometheus is supposed to be the better of the two, isn't it?
It's the least worst.
The least
Let's say.
worst. Oh, I love that. And have you seen there's a TV show or something coming out?
I've heard about it, but I don't know if it's out or not
I
yet.
think they
So,
dropped the trailer and it looks decent
okay, well, I'll give it a look.
for sure. I've played the Alien board game, the one shot one.
I've never heard of it. Is it good?
I can't think of the name of it, but it's very good. We've just
Yeah.
gone into a whole alien tangent now.
Cool.
I love Alien so much. I hope they
Yeah, yeah.
continue
I'm a
to.
huge fan.
I am as well. Big up. Who's it? Sigourney Weaver? That's in that?
Yeah, yeah, that's
I
right.
think so.
Ellen
Yeah,
Ripley.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I was doubting myself then. Do you have any favorite album releases of 2024 so far, or any that you're looking forward to in 2025?
This year I really enjoyed the new Vola album. Uh, I haven't really kept up with like new music this year. Like I was really into old stuff like Black Sabbath and ISIS and you know the all the classics.
If you use Spotify, what was your Spotify rap like? Was you happy with it?
Yeah, yeah. Except you know I listen to white noise at night, so it crept up in my top five. So the stats are completely wrong. So
Oh,
you're on the top 0.001% of listeners worldwide. Yeah, because my phone is on all night.
your white noise is top fan like.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of white noise.
I was pretty surprised with mine actually. My top artist was 21 Pilots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I have him. I think the only reason why I have him in a work playlist that I use, so because they're like radio friendly. So I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah.
why they were heavily shuffled on it. So I say that's why
Mm.
because I was in like the top 1%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know a lot of my friends
that's
were pretty
crazy.
disappointed with theirs because they'd be like, "I listened to Sabrina Carpenter once. How is she in my top five?" Spotify be crazy. Maybe next year they'll get it right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to be very careful, like to not
Yeah, because
shuffle too much. In
it stops
October, I think.
count it stops counting in October. Yeah, so they have like
Yeah,
a month and a bit to count. Get all the
yeah.
stats. I might swap to D's or I'll see. And we're on to our last question. Do you have any advice for anyone wanting to start a band in 2024/2025 as we're recording in December?
Yeah, just do it. Just go for it. Like that's what I did. I didn't know bass. I just basically winged it and learned it on the spot. And that was 20 years ago. Now you've got so many resources. You've got free YouTube videos, tutorials, stuff like that, and also for music production and mixing, recording. It's really like now is easier than ever to start a band. And
And it
I encourage like anybody who wants to, give a shot at it, just go for it. That's what
and
I did.
it's so easy nowadays to get your hands on like cheap little interface that has like two outputs that you can.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can get like DAWs for like dirt cheap now, even for free. Like you can find VSTs even like for free. It's great. It's really great.
And I think it's great as well. You don't have to have BandLab anymore. You don't need to have an Apple product now that, like for GarageBand or whatever it's called, you can use
I
BandLab
know.
online and there's so many different
Yeah,
apps.
I've never used Apple products actually. I'm a I'm a PC guy. I'm a PC guy, so I've always used in terms of DAWs. I always used the Reaper, and it's the license is like super cheap, and it's a lifetime license. It's not a subscription service bullshit like you have nowadays. It's like you pay once, and the product is you forever. And that's what we use with Jovian Storms. We use Reaper for like for the recording demos and also for the live backing tracks and videos.
I'm still on the free version of Reaper. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I've been using it for like a good year now, and I'm just like still
Mm.
evaluating.
It's a great tool. It's a great tool.
Yeah, because I used to have Fruity Loops. I went through when I was
Yeah.
16, I
It,
wanted to be a
it's more
SoundCloud
electronic.
rapper.
Yeah. It's more it's more geared toward electronic music, I think.
I spent €200 on the license and I never
Ooh.
used it. I never learned how to use it properly and then I just gave up. And then I swapped over to Reaper and it's pretty good. I really like it. It's very user friendly, unlike a
Yeah.
lot of the other ones.
It's very intuitive. Yeah.
100%. But it's 2024, 2025. It's more than easier than ever to try out music
Exactly.
like
Yeah. 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 Like,
100%.
yeah. Yeah. I was because like 20 years ago, you didn't have the tools that we have now, and it's really great. Like it's very enticing, and like for creativity, it's really great.
Yeah, because I don't think if you did a bad take on a tape, it would be cheap to erase the mistake. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. I can imagine what it would be like to record on tape. But at least the musician back then had more discipline, I guess.
like I remember watching the Metallica documentary for making the Black Album,
Yeah.
and the process that they did for like cutting all the different tapes to make the best takes is like must have taken so much time to go through.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so expensive. Like tape is so expensive.
Like I admire them for like taping every single bit together, and it sounds class like, but I
Yeah.
doubt they'd never want to do it again.
I would like. I actually would love to record on tape, like maybe in the future, because the studio where we recorded our first EP, they're one of the last studios in Canada to still use tape.
Oh, that's
They have a
awesome.
tape machine. Yeah, yeah. So the guy who runs the studio is called Howard Billerman, and he worked with Arcade Fire.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's because I love the analog sound, and like there's a certain grit, a certain warmth to it, and I would love to experiment with it like in the future, but tape is just so expensive.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I have a small tape collection of bands and stuff myself, and I actually bought recently 5 blank tapes. So I'm gonna try like make my own mixtapes and see how they turn out.
Like cassettes.
Cassettes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I used to have like a huge collection of cassettes back in the 90s. I had my Walkman and everything.
Do you still have them?
Yeah, I still have them. Yeah, somewhere.
Which one's your favorite that you own on cassette?
I would say the the first Korn album from '94.
Oh, you
That's
have that on cassette. That's sick.
yeah, and also Americana by Offspring. This album was really my gateway to heavier quote unquote music. That's
Yeah,
where it all started for me.
that's pretty sick. My it's just looking at the times like your gateway into heavier music was a cassette by The Offspring. Mine was accidentally flicking onto Scuzz, the music channel, and seeing Disturbed Down with the Sickness playing.
Wow!
It was literally on that bit when I flicked it over.
Awesome.
Now Scuzz doesn't exist anymore. It's a shame.
Is it a was it a metal channel in Ireland?
Yeah, it was UK and Ireland. It was run by Sky, and they literally just says we're not going to pay the license for it anymore. So it was
Yeah,
gone.
yeah. I miss the times of MTV and stuff like that when back when they actually played music videos.
And not just like Catfish the TV show.
Yeah, exactly, and like reality TV bullshit.
That's a great way to end it. Thank you, Tom, for taking the time out of your
Thank you so
evening.
much, Lily.
No
Thank you so much.
worries.
It was
And
a pleasure chatting with you.
Umbra is out now.
Yeah, you can listen to it on all major platforms.
And cassette.
Uh, maybe one day. Yeah, yeah, yeah.